Hello YouTube and welcome to Cars, Grilling and Technology. This is Will, and even though I'm about a month late in doing this video, this is going to be my 1 year of ownership video with the 2022 Corvette hardtop convertible. If you've been watching the channel, you'll hear me say this. You've heard me say this a lot, is that once you finally get your car, time just really flies. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about you know, what I think of the car. You know, we're going to talk a little bit about my build specs, why I spec'd it out like I did, and the differences between how the car looks now versus the day that I picked it up a year ago. So this is a 2LT, and as you see, it is rapid blue. When I ordered the car, it did not have the high wing spoiler, and it did not have these wheels on it. That was something that we had done over the course of the year. But first thing I want to talk about is we're going to talk about the outside accessories first, and then we'll dive a little bit deeper into it. But this car, we have the carbon flash metallic side skirt extensions, and we've also got the wheels on here were done by a company called Wheelcraft here in Mentor, Ohio, and this is what they call black ice, which is like their black chrome. So I thought with the other accents on the car, it really, you know, put the whole look of the car together. But we've got the side skirt extensions, we've got the carbon flash metallic high wing spoiler. Like a lot of people, I was torn between the low spoiler and the high wing, but I think the high wing just gives it a different, more exotic look. I mean, it's more of a bold look, and this is one of those cars that, you know, you want it to kind of be in your face. So that's why we went with the high wing. And then we've got the 5VM front splitter. This was also added on after we got the car. This is one that it's not one of the real expensive ones. This one is actually made out of plastic. I did not want to do like carbon fiber or anything that was super expensive, only because if you notice, my driveway has a hump, and we'll talk about that a little bit later once we go over some of the options, because this car does have front end lift. But if I'm going to get, you know, distracted or accidentally hit this on something, I would rather have it be on an inexpensive plastic one versus one that was like $600 or $700. So that's why we went ahead and just did the regular plastic one. I think it looks good. Unless you actually go up to it and touch it, you would never know that it was, you know, probably one of the cheapest front splitters on the market. Going inside the car, not a lot of accessories in here. We've got the all-weather floor mats. These are from GM. I just like the all-weather floor mats. You know, the carpet is nice, but I think the all-weather ones, you don't have to worry about damaging the carpet in your car. You just get in, do what you got to do. Then I also have the lighted door sills. You know, some people don't like these. I think the design is kind of weird because there's nothing electrical that hooks up to those. It's battery operated. So there's a piece that's underneath your door. It's like a piece of aluminum foil, it looks like, that activates the light on when to come on and when to come off, and it lasts about 30 seconds once it comes on. They have had a lot of issues with these failing, which is one of the reasons why they don't carry them anymore. But I just kind of like the look of the Stingray. So if one day these do fail, then, well, oh well, we'll just you know, keep it like it is, because I like the look of it. And the only other thing inside the car that was an add-on is, I don't know if you can see the phone mount, but this is a phone mount that I got from Pro Clip USA. It was around $30, and I've got a magnetic wireless charger hooked up to it, so that works for me. The charger back here I don't think is very practical, so my wife uses that more than me. But you know, for me, you know, say what you want, but there were a lot of times when I would get into a store and realize I left my phone in the car because it was behind me. So I'm just somebody who likes my phone in front of me. You know, people will say that, oh well, you know, you need the charger, you got CarPlay, but I just like my phone in front of me, so that's why I opted for that. Going along with the build of the car, you see that we have the sky cool gray seats. Then we've got the black nacelles and the black roof. I just like the look of that better. You know, some people only have the nacelles done in carbon flash. Some people just have the whole car with the rapid blue, because some people want it to look more like the coupe. But with the extra money that they're spending on the convertible, I wanted people to look at it and know it's a convertible. You know, that's a little vain, but I mean, doing a convertible costs a lot more. Going on the other side of the car, I want to show you something. Because the only thing I would say about this car, and I'm not saying it's something that I don't like about the car, and I'm not saying that I would do anything different, but I am not big on interior detailing. Oh, before I go there, I forgot to mention that I've got the aftermarket mud flaps on here too. That's another accessory. But you know, if you want to barbecue me or not, I'm just not into detailing the inside of the car. And I did not clean these in advance because I wanted you to see exactly how everyday life is with the sky cool gray seats. But the only thing about the sky cool gray seats is you've got to clean these, you know, maybe once every month, 2 months at the most. It's maybe been about 3 months since I've done these, and you might not be able to tell much in this light, but they need a cleaning. I've got some products that I got from Adams Polishes, so it literally will only take maybe 10 minutes and they'll look brand new. But you do have to do a little bit of maintenance if you do the sky cool gray. I have no regrets in getting the sky cool gray because I like the two-tone look of it with the gray seats and then the gray console. Then also how the gray accents are on the side of the door. You know, a popular color combination with this is to get the twilight blue seats, but for me that wasn't worth the extra money. I think it was going to be like maybe $3,000 or $4,000 because you have to go up to 3LT. Then you also have to, I think you have to go to GT2 seats. These are GT1 seats. And you know, the seats aren't all black. You know, you've got, I mean, they're not all blue. You've got blue around the sides, and you've got blue, you know, in part of the center, but the rest of the seats, you know, are black. So that wasn't worth all the extra money for me. Then I've also got the blue seat belts. Of course, that was extra. So as far as this car goes, like I said, it's a 2LT hardtop convertible, and there were only 5 options that I added onto the car. We've got we did the high performance exhaust. We did the front lift. We did the carbon flash painted nacelles and top. Then we did the tension blue seat belt, and then we did the rapid blue color, which was a $500 surcharge. One thing I want to mention to people, if you are waiting for one of these cars, the unfortunate thing about it is every year everything goes up. So even if you're in the system right now, let's say that you did all of your pricing for a 2023 and you end up getting a 2024, it's going to cost more. Example is, I think front lift when it first came out was right around $1,500. And I think that goes up every year, because I think my front lift was, hold on, I'm looking right here real quick. My front lift was $22.50, and every year it's gone up. So this exact car would be maybe $5,000 more in a 2023 than the 2022 that I got. When I first started pricing these, I was at a 2020, so of course I paid probably $4,000 more for this car than what a 2020 would have done. But you know, it's the price of admission if you want to get a C8 Corvette. You know, if you do one of these and you get it at sticker,
that car's too.
Now this car I got from Ciocca, and I would recommend anybody who's trying to get one of these, who definitely wants to get MSRP, Ciocca and McMulkin will give you MSRP. They don't play any games. You know, it breaks my heart when I see somebody online saying that they waited for a year and a half. Then when the car came, the dealer jacked up the price. You know, I understand everybody's trying to make some money, but you know, if you owned a car dealership and somebody told you, hey, a car is coming out, that you'll be able to get sticker all day long for the car, I think people should be happy with that. This is the first car I've ever paid full MSRP for. But even if you've got like a local dealership, if you trust them, I mean, I'm hearing stories where, you know, the car comes in and the salesman will say, oh, the owner said I got to do this, that, or the other. So I know Ciocca and McMulkin will be able to get you a car probably quicker than anybody else, and they always do MSRP. So I mean, it's your choice. But those guys, and I know there's some other dealers out there that will do MSRP. You would have to do a little bit of your research, but I know for a fact, and this is proof, that those two dealerships will be able to get you a car. Like I said, I got this from Ciocca. You know, was very happy with the service. You know, it wasn't convenient having to go to New Jersey to pick it up, but the ride home was fun. It was right at 500 miles when I got it home, so it was broken in the first day that I got it. So something else, and I keep thinking of things that I forgot to mention, but the windows were tinted. I got the windows tinted maybe less than a week after I got the car. So I'm going to show you one of the reasons why I had to get the front end lift. So stay tuned, I'll be back. So on a lot of the forums, you'll have people that will always ask, hey, I'm about to put in the final order for my C8. Should I or should I not get front end lift? I would say that just depends on your circumstances. Now this car does have front end lift, and right now the car is lifted up. And as you see, I've got clearance going into my driveway, but honestly I still back this car in more times than I pull it in, only because when you're backing out, if you're not careful and if you don't watch it, then the car is going to bounce when you get to the end, and that would probably hit. But as you see, you know, I've got clearance, and that's with the front end lift up. Let me put the front end lift down and give you a comparison shot. So hold on. This is with the car being lowered, and as you see, I mean, the 2 inches makes a difference. I don't know how comfortable I would feel trying to go in and out of this driveway without the front lift on. So, you know, in my situation, it was money well spent. I've got a friend's house that I go to, and even if I back into his driveway with the car lifted up, I'm maybe a ½ inch away from the car hitting. I also have another house that has a hill for the driveway, and even with the front lift and even backing up, I can't get this car all the way in that driveway. I can get it to where, you know, all the wheels are off the street, but other than that, it will not go up without scraping. So, you know, I think you've got to do your own research of, you know, places that you go, pay attention to how the landscaping is, and you know, make your decision based on that. But for me, you know, it's money well spent, because I had the car for a year. I've never scraped the front end on anything, and you know, that's the point of why you get front end lift. So you know, I think it's a lot of money for that, especially since when they first introduced it, it was $1,400, I believe. And I don't think that the cost of making that is going up $1,000 or $500 every year. But you know, once again, that is the price of admission. So stay tuned, we got more to come in this interview. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the accessories, so hold on, I'll be back. So riding in the car, and you know, everybody says that the design of this was to be like a fighter plane. Well, I've never been in a fighter plane, so I can't really compare, but I do think that the layout of this is perfect. Like, the goal was for everything to be more driver centric, and I think they definitely did that, because everything is within the driver's reach, and almost everything, you know, makes sense. You know, some people were critical about this wall of buttons when it first came out, but you know, I kind of like it. It doesn't really bother me that much. But going forward, I would say that if I did anything, you know, I kind of want an exhaust system. I mean, you can hear the exhaust in this car and it sounds good, and I can't do it yet, but once you really hit it, I mean, the exhaust note is very nice. But I think what a lot of people say when they wish it was louder is, like, right now I've got it where the exhaust is open, but driving through my development, as you can hear, it's like very, very quiet. I mean, you still get a little bit of a rumble, but it's very, very subtle. Hello everyone. So as I am trying to finish this 1 year ownership review of my 2022 C8 Corvette, I've been tied up with a lot of work things, so that's why it's been a delay. But the car has been sitting for about 3 weeks, hooked up to a charger, and when I got into the car to drive it a couple of days ago, this is what happened. So as you see, you know, it sounds amazing. I've got my tire warning light on, which is pretty standard considering the car has been sitting, and it is right now 37 degrees in my garage, which means that it's probably about I don't know, maybe 19-20 degrees outside. But you see, my radio is on, and hopefully I won't get in any copyright problems with this, because you see there's a title on there, but I have no sound from my radio. I mean, it's nothing. So, you know, I'm pressing the buttons. You know, you see it says audio volume, but I got nothing. So that's gonna be a follow-up video. I'm kind of torn on when to set an appointment to take this in, because where I live in Cleveland, you never know how the weather's going to be, and I don't want to set up an appointment and then we get a snowstorm the same day I'm supposed to take the car in to get it fixed. I mean, I'm not bummed or gonna say this changes my opinion of the car, or say the car is crap or anything like that, because I mean, I'm, you know, a little bit over a year at 7,800 miles, and I've still got warranty, plus I got an extended warranty, so of course Chevy will take care of it. But it's just kind of weird how, you know, the car's just been sitting in the garage and I get into it and the radio doesn't work. I'm gonna go on some forums and see if there's maybe a way to just reset everything, and maybe that would work. But for the time being, right now, my radio doesn't work. So stay tuned. You know, I'm gonna finish up the review, but this is one of those weird things that happens when you're dealing with a car. But for this part of the review, this is like a we're talking about what might be the most controversial accessory that I have in this car. And I say controversial loosely, but as you see, this is my headliner. There's absolutely no damage, nothing wrong with my headliner. And that's gonna be important because of what I'm about to show you. So I'm about to open up the hatch and go to the back of the car. Stay tuned, I'll be back. So I'm hoping the roar of the engine isn't too loud. But as you can see, I have a clear engine cover. The reason why I say this is the most controversial is I have a video up that I did prior to me installing this. I did my own review where I tested like different temperatures as far as, you know, with the car idling after I've been driving it for a while. I did a temperature of the heat that you get from here, the heat on the inside of the liner, the heat back in this area. And I have all of that, and I'll post a link to that video in the description. But for my test, I didn't have any fear about putting this on there. People are saying that, you know, oh, well, with that on there, it might melt, it might ruin your paint back here, it's gonna melt the inside or damage the inside of your headliner. And like I said in that video, I am no super plastic engineer or anything like that, but I don't know. I would think that you would see melting of this cover and damage to this first before you would see it damage anything up here or the liner of the car. So that's why I did not have any issue in putting this on my car. I also have a video of when I bought a plain black engine cover and I painted it the Rapid Blue and then installed it in the car. There is a video for that also. But I don't have any issue with this clear cover. I did have a valve spring issue, and there's a video for that on the website too. And I had one commenter say, oh, I see, I wasn't sure about that clear engine cover, and oh, I wouldn't do that. Look, the engine cover didn't have anything to do with the valve spring breaking. I mean, it's pretty well known that GM did have a problem with these cars and all of their V8 engines with valve spring problems. So it's not like the valve spring said, oh my God, you just put on one of those clear covers, time for me to brake. It was one of those things. So, you know, if you're looking at one of these, like I said, I do have a video about it. That I've had this on, I think I put it on the beginning of the summer. I didn't have any issues with it, you know, even hot weather or whatever. So, you know, this is gonna be something that's gonna be on the car unless I see something change. I mean, I've got enough sense that if I see something melting or if there's an issue, to take it off the car. But I like the look of it. I like it when you go to a car show and somebody looks at it, when you open this up and they see it, it's just cool. I mean, do you need it? Of course not. But, you know, when you're tricking out your C8 Corvette, you know, you get the stuff that you like and, you know, put it to how you would like it, and, you know, mileage may vary. This might be something that someone else in a million years might not ever put on their car, but I think it's slick as hell. So I'll be back to wrap up the video. So as I wrap up this video, you know, I'm just gonna say that, you know, I still love everything about this car. You know, has the car been perfect? No. Had a couple of issues, you know, with the valve spring. And then of course now we're dealing with the radio issue. But I mean, the cars are they're just amazing. I mean, Corvettes have always been amazing cars. I think one of the cool things about this for me and my journey is the fact that this is the first car that I've ever had that was built to my specifications. And I've had a bunch of cars, but I've never ordered one directly from the factory that came exactly how I said that I wanted it. Would I change anything? No, not really. You know, if I could do anything over again, I probably would have got on a list right when they first announced this car, because this car was maybe $5,000 or $6,000 more than this exact same car in a 2020 would have cost. And of course, this is a 2022, but a lot of the options, you know, went up in price since I first got on my first list. But, you know, it's amazing. It's an amazing car. To anybody who's out there waiting for it, I would just say be patient with it. I mean, it sucks. The whole process is terrible, where you got to put your name on a list. You don't know what's going on or whatever. I mean, it is what it is. You know, if you're with a reputable dealer, and like I said, I got mine from Ciocca, and I would recommend anybody who's thinking about getting one of these to get on Ciocca and McMulkin's list, because they are two companies that will get you a car faster, and they always go by their word. If they say they're going to sell you a car at MSRP, they will sell you a car at MSRP. I think it breaks my heart when you hear some of the stories about people that have waited for cars. They wait a year, the car comes in, and then the dealership says, oh, management says we got to charge $10,000 over a sticker, or well, there's a $15,000 surcharge. Look, man, that's just wrong. And I don't care. You know, I understand that everybody's trying to make money. I'm a small business owner. But I mean, if you were to tell a dealership, hey, we're coming out with a car that you will be able to sell them as fast as you can get them, and everyone will have no problem paying sticker price for this car, I mean, you'd think that would be enough. This is the only car in my life that I have ever paid sticker price for, and was happy to pay it. I mean, because I knew how the game was and how the availability of the cars were. But if you're waiting for one, be patient. You know, don't get discouraged by some of the negative people that are on forums, because some of the people on forums, it seems like they just say negative things to you just to say negative things. You know, some of these people might not even have Corvettes. You know, a lot of people will shame you if you post on a forum, oh, I had to finance my car. Some people, you know, throw you under the bus for saying you financed the car. It's like, get real. I mean, anybody can be online and say they paid cash for their car. You don't believe me? Okay. Hey, this is Will from Cars, Grilling, and Technology, and I paid cash for my car. See how easy that was? So don't let anybody discourage you if you're saying you're saving money, or you're getting your down payment together, or you're financing the car, because there's nothing wrong with that. You know, if you want the car and the payments fit within your budget, just get the car. But that's going to wrap it up for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. We're going to have more videos coming. Like I said, it's kind of tough to make videos in Cleveland right now, because as you see, there's like snow everywhere. This isn't bad. It's kind of died down a little bit. But if you like what we're doing, please subscribe, hit the notification button. We got a lot more stuff coming. With this car, depending on what my budget looks like, and yes, I am someone who has to do a budget, I may loosely consider doing an exhaust system. That's probably like a long shot, but you never know. But stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next video.